Money is everywhere. It's everywhere. It's in my pockets. It's in my pudding. There's money everywhere. And I will use all that money to do many things that I would like to do, having produced 0 jobs or anything of value for my entire adult life. During my childhood, perhaps I produced something. When I was a small child, I made poop. But since then, I have done nothing useful, and now I will take all your money and I will throw it at the sun. I hate the sun. It's very mean.
Yeah! 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 Yes! 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 I can't believe it!
This seems like a viable topic in of itself. Because many fans, even influencers, are truly blinded by what has been going on behind the scenes with Sakurai and Square Enix. Sakurai has seriously convinced Nintendo fanboys that Square Enix was unwilling to negotiate for content rights. And then Sakurai was able to make the impossible happen. Anything he does is just complete magic. He can walk on water, he can heal the blind, he can exorcise demons. But the cherry on top was that he managed to get the rights to more than one Final Fantasy character, something that other companies have already done before. Wow, bravo Sakurai. What a giant accomplishment. Give this man the key to the city. It's just so incredible how fans treat him like he's a god. If you're a Square Enix RPG fan who was drawn to this product, and you have a high opinion of Sakurai, that makes sense. You should feel special right now. This makes sense because he is also a Square Enix RPG fan. He shares a lot of interests with these gamers that play JRPGs. He does a damn shitty job trying to hide this fact, but hopefully this can make some folk understand where I'm coming from. When it all comes down to it, he was the man in charge of choosing these characters. He wanted them all. It's a selfish act dressed up as a selfless act. You don't need to remind me who Sakurai keeps telling us who chose these characters. Tell me whether or not this is a fair question to ask. Who at Nintendo would say we need 4 Square Enix characters with so much in common with one another? Because as I said before, these 4 characters pretty much appeal to the same group of fans. If that upsets you, I don't really care. I make people upset with my honest opinion. I'm not ashamed to say that. Massive ego Sakurai just comes off as a very self-centered man who lives inside a bubble, who is out of touch with reality, and can't accept the gaming industry for what it is. He has his own vision of what he wants the industry to be. One that includes JRPGs that are mainstream and where Fire Emblem is a bigger brand than Mario. And he wants to be praised for every little thing he does, like he moved a mountain to get Minecraft blocks to work in every stage. That's always something he tells us he had to do. No, he didn't. All of this was what he wanted to do. I did make another video recently about comparing Sora to wrestler CM Punk. There was a ton of hype behind his rumored return to wrestling. And when it finally happened, it got 10 million views on YouTube. People were honestly convinced that his addition and other additions would change everything for AEW and give WWE a run for their money. I was not convinced this would happen myself, and I was right. Phil Brooks went from 10 million views on YouTube to just another body on that depressing show as the hype was almost dead on arrival. That's what I get from Sora. A highly overrated character from a series with a rabid cult following that makes him out to be a bigger deal than he actually is. It's only because of one man's inflated ego that he became a character, and not only that, but was treated like the ultimate addition to the roster, like he's Sonic the Hedgehog, while he has no right to be. Banjo was kinda presented like this too, and he nowhere near is he the icon that Nintendo fans say. If I wasn't a gamer, I'd probably say, who is this weird-looking boy that's shaking hands with Mario, and why should I care? Because not everybody is familiar with this character. Now, 32 million copies in nearly 20 years is pretty good for a video game franchise. But it makes you wonder, with a character that blatantly piggybacked off of 2 larger brands, how is that not a higher number? I'll tell you why. These collaborations with Disney are too ambitious. Each of these games, I feel, take so much time to hit the market, and that stretches out the already massive budget, so Square Enix can't manage to make that money back. That's why Kingdom Hearts 3 took so long to not only finish, but begin in the first place. The budget kept growing, and who knows if the game ever made a profit. So with that said, what needed to be done for Sakurai to get this miracle boy into his product? Because I can't imagine it was easy, and I can't imagine it was cheap. For any typical developer using a guest character, you hope that character can help you make a return on investment. And let me say right now that having 3 Square Enix characters that pander to the same base won't do that. It's easy for Sakurai to make such reckless decisions, so long as he's not spending his own money. If his money was at stake here, then you'd bet he wouldn't do this. But what am I talking about? Why wouldn't these characters from Square Enix make money? The answer is simple. The fans that these characters pander to won't spend enough. What do I mean? Let me make a chart here. A chronological timeline of all the Square Enix Final Fantasy characters as well as how much you'd have to spend if you wanted such character. So Cloud is brought back for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Great. When that game came out in December 2018, anybody who is interested in Cloud would have to spend around $60 to $360. The main protagonist of the best-selling game from the best-selling series from Square Enix. Best chance to assure you get as many Final Fantasy fans as possible to play Smash again. This is honestly the best decision of the 4, and it'll just go downhill from here. So now, fast forward to July 2019, and we have a multitude of Dragon Quest protagonists, called Hero. This is where the cost of the character can greatly vary, because at this point, you have Square Enix fans that have already committed to owning and playing Smash Bros. So they already own the console and the game. Are there many that don't at this point? It's possible, but frankly, I don't expect that many, since Cloud is regarded as one of Square Enix's most marketable RPG characters. So, if you play Smash at this point, $6 is all you need to spend. If not, you'd have to spend $366. Now that's more than $360, definitely, but it's no doubt there are far fewer consumers that would need to spend this much as this point, so I can see the 6 greatly outweigh the $366. Okay. But here's where it gets interesting. Sephiroth. A character from a third-party game that already has a character that Sakurai already spent money on to win those same fans over. Well, that means we're definitely going to make serious dough now. Right? Nope. I already made a video on why Sephiroth was a waste of money, and I stand by it 100%. Nothing and nobody has been able to convince me how this is a profitable character. Final Fantasy fans aren't going to buy a second Switch or second copy of Smash Bros. If they don't need to. People have said to me, oh, this is the most famous villain in all of video game history. But if you're going by characters being the best of their kind, then I'd argue that owning the most famous video game heroine, who has her very own franchise, is more important than Sephiroth. If you're not a Smash Bros. Customer at this point, then Sephiroth is not going to draw in any new fans. Just the same RPG fans that are already paying for the product. It would have been better had both Cloud and Sephiroth been introduced as characters at the same time. But instead, it's still going to just be $6 per customer. At this point, Sakurai is spending money just so that his loyal fans continue to collect all the DLC. What's so profitable about this? You're not making money doing this. You might as well just put in 9-Volt or someone since their first party. And if Sephiroth can't make a profit, what makes you think Sora's going to make a profit? Again, pandering to the same fans, hardly any new fans that want to buy the game, so it's just the same problem with Sephiroth, only that Sora was likely a far bigger expense. So how is Sora going to make money? People might argue that Kingdom Hearts is totally separate from Final Fantasy. I wholeheartedly disagree. If you need the Final Fantasy brand and Final Fantasy characters to help sell Kingdom Hearts, then odds are the people that buy these games are Final Fantasy fans. There's also Disney, I know, but Sora is not Mickey Mouse. Disney fanatics likely can tell you thousands of different Disney characters before they get to Sora. So the majority of these fans will only need to spend $18 total for 3 characters. If you're a Square Enix RPG fan, you're probably over the moon for these characters. And congratulations, man. But imagine if the first character was Scorpion, the second character was Sub-Zero, the third character was Reptile, and the fourth character was Rain. You'd be outraged. You'd be right to be outraged. It would feel like Mortal Kombat fans are being spoiled. We would never see the end of all the rant videos on YouTube that there are 4 Mortal Kombat characters in the product. And I'd be one of those people despite that I play Mortal Kombat. HMK and all these other influencers would declare war on Sakurai. It's very easy to see that it's a horrible idea. So, how is this any better? You got 2 Final Fantasy characters and a 3rd character that needed Final Fantasy to become relevant, and a 4th that caters to nearly the same demographic. Do you not feel spoiled? They'll act all smug when they get what they want, but they layer so much drama when they don't get what they want.
No! 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 No, Sakurai! What have you done? What have you done? No!
What the hell, Nintendo? I love you, Nintendo, but what were you thinking making Travis a Mii fighter? And that's just because I'm a fanboy of Travis and No More Heroes, right? So obviously, I'm just one very small niche subset of fans. It was probably a dumb choice. I do think Travis, as niche as No More Heroes is, and it is, I still feel like he deserved to be a true fighter. I think the smartest thing anyone who's been asking for Travis could do is to just take this at face value and take this as confirmation that he's only ever going to be a Mii fighter, costume, which is so lame, and that's it. We're probably not going to get an actual Travis in Smash. So, huge missed opportunity, huge mistake by Nintendo, I think. I guess I understand it, but I think it's a mistake and a missed opportunity. Travis Touchdown and No More Heroes was trending after that demonstration. I don't think I saw anything about Minecraft or Minecraft Steve trending. I don't even know if I saw Smash Brothers specifically trending. I might have missed those things, but I didn't see them. What I did see at the top of my trending list was Travis Touchdown and No More Heroes. And most of the conversation coming out of that was about Travis Touchdown and No More Heroes. I didn't see a lot of people talking specifically about Minecraft Steve. I did see a little. I'm not going to say it wasn't there, but I saw very little compared to so many tweets and conversations about Travis. That was the reveal. The fact that Travis was a Mii fighter and people were disappointed. That was the trend. The trending topics coming out of that Smash Brothers thing. It wasn't Minecraft. It was where's Travis and people upset. So clearly there's a pretty large audience, large enough to justify it, Through the list of the 80-something characters we have, there's a lot of them that are pretty low on the popularity list, or pretty low as far as recent games that they've even had released, but they're still in Smash. So I 100%, fanboyism aside, I 100% think that Travis Touchdown meets whatever standards might be there for a character to make it in Smash Bros. I absolutely do. You'll never tell me he's too small to be in the game. I don't think that's true.
I'm aware of the fighters passes and how you can pay one price for a pack of characters, but that's not really an appeal to purchase the game, the pass itself. It's more like a discount to encourage more people to pay. So that's why I don't factor in the fighters passes or mention them. So you might be asking me, why is this all a big deal? What makes this so important? Smash Bros. Ultimate is sold like hotcakes. Almost 25 million copies sold. That's phenomenal. However, this entire game was planned immediately following the completion of Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS. If Sora was a character that Sakurai wanted to pursue for all these years, what would happen if the Switch were to flop and Ultimate would only sell like 5 million copies? We're all thankful that didn't happen, but what if it did? He was planning this despite so much uncertainty, even after the Wii U was a flop and the 3DS version was in part of that. What if the Ultimate project lost money? For another company outside from Square Enix to use Sora, Square Enix likely had to be okay with getting nothing for it. Square Enix was probably like, hey, we don't want to do this for nothing, and Sakurai could have written so many zeros on the end of that check that went out to Square Enix, and it would seem like the offer they couldn't refuse. However much money needed to get it done. Rights fees, attorney fees, travel expenses, however much money Square Enix had been in debt from working on Kingdom Hearts. You name it. It doesn't seem like that's a lot of money to Nintendo, but what if Smash Bros. Ultimate performed as much as the previous game on Wii U did? That sounds like a financial black hole and Sakurai's here recklessly funding another company knowing the money he's using isn't even his. As great it would be for Sakurai to step down, the worst that would happen would be for the budget to downsize. we'd probably end up with no more third-party characters or no more DLC, because this money mark would blow it for us. But back up, what about the Kingdom Hearts ports? I know I haven't really talked about them, but they seem like catalog fillers. How many times are they going to port and remaster the same games from 10 to 20 years ago? This debt is the whole reason they do it. Apart from remaking old games as well as these mobile and sing-along games. The people excited for them have already played them. Some Kingdom Hearts fans might buy them again, but not all of them, and these are all digital-only games. So we're never going to find out how many people have bought them. Having to play a cloud version of PS2 games is also pretty silly. It would really cost them that much to release those games with a full download. So is all this worth it? Unless you're a fan of these characters, then yes. If you're anybody else, then no. Fans have said Sakurai's tried to please everybody. If this selection of characters was more diverse, and instead we'd have characters that the mainstream gamer actually cares about, like Scorpion, like Leon Kennedy, like Lara Croft, like Crash Bandicoot, like a character that actually resonates with a fanbase outside the Smash Bros. Community, then I'd say, okay, he's actually trying to please everybody, and there's actually a chance for these characters to make Nintendo money. Just because Sora is the most requested character, and who even knows if that's true, but just because Sora is the most requested character doesn't mean he's going to be profitable. You may not like me saying that, but it's true. And how despicable to even drag poor Iwata into his tasteless story. The Switch didn't even release before Iwata passed, and he took the brunt of it all. He had to cut his salary so Nintendo could soften the blow it received because of the Wii U's shortcomings. The last thing on his mind was whether or not some Sakurai Disney kid fetish would get into Smash Bros. When he wasn't even certain that the Switch was going to be successful at the time. It's just another one of Sakurai's feel-good stories that tries to paint himself as some undaunted hero, and it sounds all too ridiculous to believe. Sakurai is not a hero, he's a fraud. He'll never be half the man that Iwata was. All Sakurai had to do, in order to please Smash Bros. Loyalists, was to simply make a game, and these fans would simply support it like all the others. He's only pleasing himself with who he chose as characters, and you're just fortunate he likes the exact same games as you do. If Sakurai had intentions of making a Square Enix vs Fire Emblem fighting game, maybe that's what he should have done instead of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. We have a little diversity, but 4 Square Enix characters with the same fanbase, holy shit, that is too much, the risk is too big, and I don't know what financial advisor would say this is what the product needs. And look at this. I found my Miiverse profile archived. Maybe I can share some posts with you. As always, stay tuned for more.
Yeah, that's confirmed. Yeah! Yes! Get in! Yes! Thank you! Thank you for not trolling me, Nintendo. I can't freaking stand it!